said unto him, What is written in the law? How readest thou? And he answering said, Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy strength, and with all thy mind, and thy neighbor as thyself. And he said unto him, Thou hast answered right. This do, and thou shalt live. But he, willing to justify himself, said unto Jesus, And who is my neighbor? And Jesus answering said, A certain man went down from Jerusalem to Jericho, and fell among thieves, which stripped him of his raiment, and wounded him, and departed, leaving him half dead. And by chance there came down a certain priest that way, and when he saw him, he passed by on the other side. And likewise a Levite, when he was at the place, came and looked on him, and passed by on the other side. But a certain Samaritan, as he journeyed, came where he was, and when he saw him, he had compassion on him, and went to him, and bound up his wounds, pouring in oil and wine, and set him on his own beast, and brought him to an inn, and took care of him. And on the morrow when he departed, he took out 2 pence, and gave them to the host, and said unto him, Take care of him, and whatsoever thou spendest more, when I come again, I will repay thee. Which now of these 3 thinkest thou was neighbor unto him that fell among the thieves? And he said, He that showed mercy on him. Then said Jesus unto him, Go, and do thou likewise.
Hey, Shalom. All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles who we learn this truth from. GMS, and peace and blessing to you sincere, true brothers and the true warriors of the Heavenly Father. You men that are sincere, that are hot for the Lord every single day. And what you can take out of that story, you can take a whole lot of different things out of that story. See, when you read that story of the Good Samaritan, because I seen a video that, guys be doing about Samaritans and, this and that. But that Samaritan actually showed who a true brother was. Because a brother is not just a man that puts on a garment and says he's a Hebrew Israelite. He may know all the scriptures in the world, but he don't have no true love. When the Lord put forth that parable, he was letting that publican that was trying to tempt him know what that Samaritan represented. Because you had the scribe and you had the Pharisees. These men did not have no true love, and they didn't have no true love for the Lord and love for the next men. That's why they denied Yahweh Shai. They didn't believe the baptizing of John the Baptist, and to their own fucking condemnation. So this is the problem that we're dealing with in these last days, with man teaching his word. They don't have no true love. They don't have no true. They don't have Yahweh Shai. They're not those Samaritans. They're not. You got guys. What we see happening is guys will do the work, but then they will shit on everybody else, which means guys make it seem like if they're in the camp, that's what makes them a man of the Lord, and that ain't the fucking case. Meanwhile, they don't go into Matthew chapter 23. They don't bring out the whole of the gospel. Because if guys brought out the whole gospel, you'll see where the fuck everybody is. And then you will start to see that the camp don't make the majority of these guys men of the Lord. The camp don't make them that. Guys are making themselves. It's all about a friend and name and the titles and the acronyms. That's what guys have in these last days. But the true love of the Lord, guys don't fucking have it. And like we always say, if guys would go into Matthew 23, if a bunch of you dudes would actually hit on Matthew 23, because we know that's your kryptonite, what Matthew 23 will do, it will put a fucking lot of guys in the spotlight. It will shine a light on the hypocrisies of guys teaching this word, but they don't have no true love, no true agape. The guys don't got that. They don't have Matthew chapter 23, because Yahweh Shai, the majority of the gospel that he preached, it was against the majority of guys teaching the word. It wasn't against just fucking Esau. And the majority of you guys, you say fucking eat, and I'm going to keep on saying that. Because we understand where you guys are, the majority of you guys are not right. And you're teaching this word in a corrupt spirit. A lot of you guys have been overthrown by Babylon the Great. You have been infiltrated, you see? And the Lord is no longer there. What you have in the midst, you have fucking pride. You see what I'm saying? You guys have subscribers, but the Lord is not there. And where the Lord is in these times, especially in this demonic time, the Lord is with the lowly. He's with those that are not seen in the limelight. Because the Lord is not going to have his true men in the limelight. If you're praised, especially in this fucking horrible time, then you're a false prophet. The Heavenly Father, the Lord didn't send his man to be praised. And that's when you go into the story of the Good Samaritan, you start to see that the majority of guys back then and even in this time, they're a bunch of fucking hypocrites. You see? Because they don't have no love for their brothers. If the guys actually seen a man actually fall, what would do? They would walk on the other side. You know, they wouldn't help that man. They wouldn't do anything for that man. You see? And that's the thing, that was the whole thing about the scribe and the Pharisees. They didn't give a damn about the Lord's truth. They didn't care about putting the skin on our people. What they cared about was taking this truth, these scriptures, and holding it for themselves and making themselves, putting themselves out there. You see? For you fucking clowns out there, man, that don't have no love for the true sheep. The Lord is coming back, and he's coming back fast. So now let's go ahead and go to Luke chapter 10. Because these certain parables that the Lord spoke, we go into these things because it actually puts a limelight on everything that's going on. It puts a limelight, it puts a fucking fire on a man's ass. This is Luke chapter 10 and verse 25. Matter of fact, let me get to the point. Luke 10 and verse 28. It says, and he said unto him, thou hast answered right. This do, and thou shalt live. But he wanted to justify himself, said unto Yahushua, and who is my neighbor? See, when you bring these scriptures out in Matthew 23, you actually start to see where every man lies. See, by God's not bringing out Matthew 23, what that does, it leaves a fucking leeway for a bunch of fucking demons to just creep up in there and act like they're men of the Lord. Get garments, know the script. Esau knows the scriptures. I don't mean a goddamn thing. But with God not bringing out these scriptures, the bitter side of this truth, because guys want to be seen. That's the whole thing about it. Guys want to be seen. But by God's not bringing this thing out, it leaves a big ass elephant in the room, and it leaves a leeway. It leaves that little crack where these demons and these snakes can slither their way through in this truth. Guys teaching without no love. Guys teaching in an evil spirit, in a hating spirit, like Cain, where they want to murder other man teaching his word. Yeah, that's what you got going on. So this is Luke 10 and verse 30. And Yahushua answering said, a certain man went down from Jerusalem to Jericho and fell among thieves, which stripped him of his raiment and wounded him and departed, and leaving him half dead. And by chance there came down a certain priest by that way, and when he saw him, he passed by on the other side. So this priest didn't even know this man. You see? Yet he passed by the other side. He didn't even try to help him. You see? Guys, right now, if you fell, guys wouldn't try to help you. What would guys do? They would shit on you. You see, that's the type of man we're dealing with in these times. And that's the problem that I have with the majority of men. They're teaching this truth, not in the spirit of the Lord, not with true love. You see? Because if they had true love, they would be speaking on guys going to the fucking forest, hiding in the light under the bushes. They would be speaking on guys. They would be going to these scriptures that condemns these wicked scribes. But the majority of you guys, you want to be liked. You want to get your fucking brownie points in Babylon, which is going to lead to your death and everybody following you. Reading on, it says, and by chance there came down a certain priest by that way. Right, this guy's a priest. And when he saw him, he passed by on the other side. And likewise a Levite, when he was at the place, came and looked on him and passed by on the other side. And these guys were priests. You know, they're supposed to know better. But what happened? They didn't do shit. They just passed by him on the other side. It says, but a certain Samaritan, as he journeyed, came where he was, And when he saw him, he had compassion on him. So I went ahead and got that word for Samaritan real quick. So when you get the word Samaritan, it says a charitable or helpful person. A person, a member of the people inhabiting Samaria in biblical times. And it says a charitable or helpful person, going back to charity, which a lot of guys fucking lack. But they have all these subscribers and they have all these praises of men, which the Lord is not dealing with. You see, that's the whole thing with this truth. You're gonna have many men teaching His word. Many men were called to preach the word of the Lord, but many men have been rejected. They were just called to lead the majority to fucking destruction. While you have the few, you have particular men out there, which is a small number, which actually have what? They're charitable, they're helpful. You see, they're those good Samaritans. And the reason why the Lord made that parable, because He's telling these fucking scribes and Pharisees, they were sitting in these seats, they didn't have no damn love. He was telling them that you guys are fucking hypocrites. You're teaching my word, but you don't have no true love. Let me keep on going. And likewise, a Levite, when he was at the place, came and looked on him and passed by on the other side. But a certain Samaritan, as he journeyed, came where he was, and when he saw him, he had compassion on him, and went to him and bound up his wounds, pouring in oil and wine, and set him up in his own beast, and brought him to an inn and took care of him. And on the morrow, when he departed, he took out 2 pence, and gave them to the host, and said unto him, Take care of him, and whatsoever thou spendest more, when I come again, I will repay thee. Which now of these 3 thinkest thou was neighbor unto him that fell among the thieves? And that cuts the whole majority of guys in these groups, because you got guys in these days, they're in the group and they're fucking proud, and then they shit on everybody else that may not be in the group. And the thing is, guys are only a friend in name, so take that group name off their channel. The majority of these guys that were praising those, they will act like they never knew them. You see? So the majority of these guys in these camps, and this is all towards the whole Israelite community. It don't matter if you're in IUIC, GOCC, Sakari, GMS, whatever. The majority of you guys in these groups, the Lord is going to destroy you. You don't have those true love. You don't have that true love. You see? You shit on everybody else that you think that you're in the flesh, and then you highly esteem these guys that are in your camp, but then they're demons. Yeah, you got demons in there. You got guys that they want certain guys to be a man of the Lord, but then everybody else don't got it. Everybody else is just a demon. But here's the thing: they call Yahushua a demon. They call John the Baptist a demon. They said they had devils. They call these guys bug outs, man. So we're actually glad. But this scripture right here, Luke chapter 10, it cussed the majority of you fucking clowns and you fakes out there, teaching this truth without no real love. You see? If you seen a man fail, you wouldn't do shit about it. What you will do, you will pour more accusations, and that's happened. This has happened to sincere brothers in the past. You see, and the Lord said, "What that which is past, He requireth." The Lord don't forget everything that you guys have done. So you gotta understand. You better be teaching this thing in love. You better have true love in your heart. If you're teaching this thing for fucking clout, or for a respected person, the Lord is going to destroy you. And for the majority of you dudes, you really got what you wanted. Yeah, you got the shine, you got the numbers, you glory in that bullshit. Just know the Lord is going to destroy you. Because the true weightier matters of the law, which you can keep. For some of you guys, you say we can't keep some of these things. You can keep these things, which are what? Love, charity, a true faith, true judgment. You can keep these things. And this is what the Lord is looking at. You see? So the hypocrites are being exposed, man. The hypocrites. Because that's the scribe and the Pharisee, they were putting on an act as if they were for the Lord. But deep inside, they were full of ravening wolves. They were the generations of vipers. And that's who the Lord spoke against. The majority of these times he had to cuss the scribes and Pharisees out to warn the disciples, to let them know, to beware of the leaven of the scribes and Pharisees. Because a little leaven is the whole lump. So you have these guys teaching the word, but they're not in the clean, pure spirit. That little leaven, if you watch these guys, is gonna jump on your ass. And for the majority of guys, you love to watch these guys, so it's cool. Just go ahead and do what you do. You see, this is 2 Peter 2:19. For when they speak great swelling words of vanity, right? Because they don't have no true love, so their words are vanity. It's empty. You see, they allure through the lust of the flesh, through much wantonness, those that were clean escaped from them who lived in error. While they promised them liberty, they themselves are the servants of corruption. I want to get that word for corruption, man. Let's see what that word says. Alright, so the word for corruption, it says dishonest or fraudulent, right? They're two-faced, conducted by those in power. You see that? So what is being empowered bring? It brings corruption. This is why the Lord said take the low seats. When you take those low seats, you have the mind, you still have a sincere spirit. But the majority of you dudes, you wanted the high seats. Now you're all fucked up. Now the Lord is no longer there. You got all the power, but the Lord is no longer there. And the Lord is gonna destroy your ass, man. It says typically involving bribery, taking gifts. And what does the scripture say about gifts? Gifts destroy the heart. And that's why guys can't rebuke no more, because they taking gifts. They became relaxed in Babylon the Great. They got all these praises. You see, now their head is fucking to the clouds. It says the process by which something, typically a word or expression, is changed from its original use or meaning to one that is regarded as erroneous or debased. And we know the spirit of error. We know the spirit of error. It says, while they promised them liberty, they themselves are the servants of corruption, from whom a man is overcome of the same as he brought in bondage. Right, so everybody watching these dudes, what? They're in that same demonic spirit. And that's why we love when guys hate us. We love it, because that means that we're on the right side of the Lord. But woe unto you when men shall speak well of you. So did they to the false prophets, man. You see, and these false prophets in these times, they're going to be teaching without the spirit, without no true love, without sincerity. And that's why the Lord said what? They're a bunch of fucking hypocrites. This is Wisdom of Solomon chapter 4 and verse 13. It says, for the bewitching of naughtiness does obscure things that are honest, and the wandering of concupiscence does undermine the simple mind. So when you go back to that story, that priest and that Levite, best believe they were in high authority, you know? So because they had that power, they were not willing to lower themselves to actually help that man. But here it is, you had the Samaritan. He wasn't even a part of them. He wasn't a Levite. He wasn't a priest. But he actually fulfilled the love. He actually fulfilled the law. That's the whole underlying tone of this lesson. He fulfilled the law by having love for his brother, by helping that man out. It says, he being made perfect in a short time, fulfilled a long time, for his soul pleased the Lord. Therefore hasted he him to take away from the wicked. So the Lord is taking away the righteous from the wicked. That's why the true men of the Lord are not out there, man. You're not supposed to be loved of this world. If you're loved of this world, that means you are hated by the Lord. You see? And that's what guys don't fucking understand. The way you're teaching this truth and what you really feel in your heart, that's what the Lord is going to judge. The Lord is not going to judge you based off your damn subscribers, man. The Lord's not going to judge you because based on how guys like you. Man can like you, you can still be an abomination to the eyes of the Lord. But do you actually have these traits of Yahweh Shai? You see? And in these times, the Spirit of the Lord is speaking. And it's heightening up the discernment of the true man to actually see, you know, whether the Spirit of the Lord is there or the spirit of error. You see, this is Matthew chapter 25. And verse 31. When the Son of Man shall come in his glory, and all the holy angels with him, then shall he sit upon the throne of his glory. And before him shall be gathered all nations, and he shall separate them one from another, as the shepherd divided his sheep from the goats. The Lord is going to come and separate, as he's doing right now in the spirit. He's gonna come and physically separate. It says, then shall the king say unto them on his right hand, right, the ones on the right hand, these are the Samaritans. You see, these are the ones, they may see somebody in need and help, and they still help them. You see, these are the ones that actually had the charity, that had the mercy, they had the proper judgment. You know, they didn't take no fucking bribes to cause their mouth to not speak righteous judgment. These are the men, and you will only have a few sincere men in these times. Come ye blessed of my Father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundations of the world. For I was an hungered, and you gave me meat. I was thirsty, and you gave me drink. I was a stranger, and you took me in. See, right there, the Lord is letting you know why the Lord is going to destroy the majority of men. Why? Because they didn't give no drink to the elect. They didn't give no meat to the elect. You see, when the elect were naked, they didn't clothe them. Rather, they wanted to tear the cloth off them. They wanted to throw the elect in a ditch. It says, when the elect were sick, they didn't visit them. You see that? When they were in prison, these are all symbolically representing these men. They're teaching the truth. They're not teaching the thing to actually give the vision to the few ones. But they're teaching this truth to get a fucking position in this world. You see? Jumping down to verse 37. Then shall the righteous answer him, saying, Lord, when saw we thee an hungered, and fed thee, or thirsty, and gave thee drink? When saw we thee a stranger, and took thee in, or naked, and clothed thee? Or when saw we thee sick, or in prison, and came unto thee? And the king shall answer and say unto them, Verily I say unto you, inasmuch as you done it unto one of the least of these little ones, you have done it unto me. You see that? When saw we thee a stranger and took thee in? So when you do these things to the elect, you're actually doing it to Yahushua. Because it's not the true man that we're speaking, is Yahushua that's speaking through those men. But to you fucking wicked out there, and for you false prophets and false brethren, this is what it says right here. Then so he said unto them on the left hand, Depart from me, ye cursed, into everlasting fire prepared for the devil and his angels. Right, because the majority of you're doing this thing for Satan anyways. Satan is on your right hand, not Yahushua. For I was an hungered, and you gave me no meat. I was thirsty, and you gave me no drink. Right, you don't have the rivers of living waters. Your water is fucking tainted. I was a stranger. I want to get that word for stranger, man. You know, some people say stranger danger. Well, the true ones are going to be strangers to this world, but they're going to be beloved of the Lord. When you get that word for stranger, it says an alien. You see? It says one who receives and entertains another hospitality with whom he stays or lodges. A guest, a host, an alien. Right, and the elect are what? Aliens to this world. But the elect are going to know who else is an alien to this world. Who else is immortal and who are part of this fucking world. So going back, so these guys, they don't know who is in the spirit and who's not. You see that? Because these guys, they're in the flesh. It says, Then shall he answer them, saying, Verily I say unto you, inasmuch as you did it not to the one of the least of these, you did it not unto me. So because you hate it and you despise these men, for a lot of you guys out there, you talk shit to the true ones, you know, you put a covering over the true ones, because you got guys, they praise the wicked, and then the ones that are actually teaching in the spirit of the Lord, they fucking hate, you know. but the Lord is going to destroy every single last one of you guys. But for the true righteous ones out there, what, you came to the sick, you open the doors of the prisons of the sick. The Lord's going to say a word unto you. Well done, thou good and faithful servant. You see? So those true Samaritans are only going to be a few. And you got a majority of these priests and these guys in camps, and then they look down on the true ones of the Lord, which the Lord is not fucking dealing with, man. You see? If you're teaching this word out no true love, the Lord is going to destroy you. And with that, shalom.